Okay, guys, so I just wanted to come on here and make a really quick video on just kind of like being the underdog and to speak to anyone who has always felt like they were always overlooked, um, kind of like singled out, and basically just kind of felt like you were never really seen. So, in regards to being the underdog, it definitely sucks, because you're always underestimated, you know, you never really feel like people see you. You're not really living at your potential, and you know what you're capable of, and so forth. And so, I just wanted to say that anybody who kind of feels like this, um, it's going to work to your advantage. And for me, having been the underdog kind of like my entire life, and especially like in school and things like that, just always like I didn't really make the best grades in school, but I wasn't like super terrible. So I mean, I had be honor roll like a couple times. I mean, personally, I think high school's pretty easy. So when you talk about college, oh my gosh, college, I definitely struggled in college. And I knew I wasn't incompetent. Like I knew that I didn't necessarily struggle with like any learning deficiencies or anything like that. But for some reason, I just didn't really connect with it. I really struggled in college. Like I think a part of it was probably just my own personal learning skills and just kind of like how I learn versus like my professors and just like how they would teach and things like that. So my first year, I had I had a 2.6 for my first year, and then after that, I ended up leaving college with a 1.6. And actually, so back it up here. Previously to applying to college, I ended up getting like I got a 15 on my ACT, and then I retook the ACT and I got a 14. So at this point, I just felt so discouraged. I just didn't feel like I was intelligent. I had a friend who got like a 32. I had friends who were scoring like 26, and I'm just like, what is wrong with me? So I think a part of that definitely crippled me in a lot of ways because I felt like I just wasn't smart. Like I felt like something was wrong with me. I'm like, how am I scoring this low on this test? This is stuff that I'm supposed to know. So I think a part of that was kind of why I didn't do so well in school. And then I mean, but just me being the person I am, I can obviously look at this and say, I didn't really apply myself. But, so yeah, then I ended up leaving college with a 1.6 GPA. At this point in my life, I just was like, I don't really know what's next for me. I'm not really sure what is going to happen for me. Like, I just feel very incompetent. I don't really feel like I'm smart. I don't feel like, so I struggled with that for a very long time. And then, it kind of worked out in a way to where I started to do what I was good at without the approval of others, without seeking validation from other people, without seeking acceptance from other people. And when we talk about the underdog, but honestly, I think that it kind of stems back from childhood because when you're young, you want to be accepted. You don't really have the emotional intelligence to understand what is going on. Yeah, my hair just looks so frizzy, and I don't know why. But anyways, you don't really understand kind of like what's going on. So, you want to be accepted, and you don't understand why you're not accepted. So then that's kind of where I think that's kind of where the term underdog originates from. But it ended up working. It works out in your advantage because you are on a pace where you're steady, and it seems like you're alone right now. And you may feel lonely sometimes, but honestly, you have to give yourself just the ability to be human. I had to learn that for myself. And the truth is that, you're human. You're a human being. You're going to feel sad sometimes. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel, you're going to feel like, and that's okay. But what you have to realize is that you're no longer in that space. And so you have to do what it is that you want to do. And you have to stop seeking validation from people. You have to stop looking for someone to rescue you. Do what it is that you love and be the best at it. And like I said, the beautiful thing about being the underdog is that you can move at your own pace and nobody's really expecting you to really do anything. You know what I mean? And see, and this is true because if you think about it, back in school, say there was a kid who was very quiet, and the first time you've ever seen this kid fight, I mean, he kicked, like he really, he gave him the business, or she gave, you know what I mean? So I was that kid. So So what I'm saying is that nobody's expecting you to do anything. So you don't really have that pressure or that expectation from other people to be something or to live a certain type of way. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can move at your own pace and you can be your own person. And when you come into that and you really hone in on that and look at that for the blessing that it is, you probably don't think it's a blessing right now if you're in that season, but coming out of it, oh my gosh, you're gonna be very thankful. So hang in there and move at your own pace and just enjoy that solitude that you have to yourself, because you don't have that pressure on you to be perfect or to be like anything, because nobody's expecting you to do that. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And I just wanted to wrap this up by saying that, me being a writer, I'll leave you guys with this. Me being a writer, trust me, the underdog is always comes out on top. Okay? I know how this story goes. So if you feel like that, forgive yourself, understand that you're not that kid anymore. You're not that kid that nobody cares about. Somebody loves you, like literally. And if you may not know who that person is, I know some people aren't blessed to have a healthy family and things like that. But what you have to understand is that you are needed. You have a right to be here. You're here for a reason. Figure out what that reason is. Make that the number one priority and do what makes you happy. At the end of the day, I always say, it's some people will say that this is kind of far-fetched, but, I think about whoever, maybe a kid in India, somewhere on this planet is somebody who's waiting to hear from you, to see you, to see you operating your gifts in your arena, and they need your story. So don't fret, okay? But definitely come out of that space of just feeling like, you're inadequate, you're not good enough, you're incompetent. Step into your true power. Do what it is that you love and embrace that season of solitude and being the underdog, because you are going to be on top and nobody's going to expect it. That is how the story goes. Okay, have a great day.